Hey there, 276. I realized in looking over, I'm going to make that face occasionally if I forget to use my left, and sorry. In looking over the content for the material I have for you there, one of the things that's kind of missing that otherwise would mimic what we'll do or we would have done in a classroom is not that this wasn't online anyway, I know, but is an introduction, right? So every course, every class usually begins with an introduction, and I think that that should be replicated here. So I will add these videos to the very, very top of every section. Now, I'm sure that you have noticed that these modules in Eagle, I'm pointing over here at my Mac where the Eagle's modules are. Each one of these modules is not a session, but a section. What I hoped to accomplish there was create logical boundaries for each of the topics that we cover. So section 2 here will be chapters 2 and 3 from the text so that you can, get some traction in there. Some sections are like the boundaries of a chapter. So chapter 5, way later down the road, I break into 3 discrete parts. So those all go in one section, but they span numerous sessions. I've yet to have anybody find tremendous logical continuity problems with that, but just in case anybody has a better idea, I am seriously open. I got to stop using my left. Seriously open to suggestions there. Last week was very, very simple. It was just an opportunity for everybody to use the discussion forums as an opportunity to see the breadth of experience that people have. So it goes from absolute zero to maybe just a little bit in some place in between. And that's perfectly okay. That's what a beginning course like this is designed to do. It's designed to take people from no or some experience and move everybody across the board, on an upward trajectory wherever that will lead us. So don't worry about where you are in your development journey, right? So as a developer, I mean, because you're going to make it leaps and bounds farther along by the time it is we're done 16 weeks from now with the course. Here in section 2, I'm going to do my best to remember that, but I will give weekly updates, even if one section spans numerous weeks. Here in section 2, you are going to get a little bit of the basics of everything down. Now, we do have videos for you here that follow this one that walk you through pretty gently, I think, everything that you're going to need to get along. One of the things I'll tell you is, and I know I have this explained in section 1, and I actually explain it again here in section 2, but really, really, truly, once upon a time, it was required that we would have had you install Visual Studio, which is a very, very large, very, very capable piece of software for developing. The problem with Visual Studio is if you have a computer that is a few years old and that is just clinging to useful life, Visual Studio will kill it. Full stop. It's dead after that. Visual Studio will muck it up. If you have a machine that is even better than that, newish, running well, kicking ass, taking names, put Visual Studio on there, we will have damaged its performance. Full stop. Visual Studio is such a huge program, and it has so many DLL, dynamically linked libraries in there, that it destroys an operating system. I know what I am doing with a computer. I've managed thousands of machines over the course of my previous career in support, in academia, in philanthropy, wherever. I've managed thousands of computers. And I have a Windows machine right over there. It is a Surface Pro. It's a Surface Book, rather. I'm looking at the both of them. And installing Visual Studio on either of them destroyed them. It killed it. There's other pieces of software that we could use that are lighter weight, that do similar things. Visual Studio Code is an example of that. It's a much smaller, much lighter weight program, but it carries with it all these pain-in-the-ass caveats for you to actually debug, compile, and run your C++ programs. The platform we're going to use is online, it's free, and it's wonderful, and it's called Replit, REPL.IT. What essentially you do, and please, please, please take me up on this suggestion, is what you do is you sign up for an account. I have 2 Replit accounts, actually, one for teaching, the other one I had to evaluate Replit 5 years ago now, I believe. I only receive big email when they do updates. Otherwise, I never receive anything from them. So I have no problem telling you to sign up for an account because they are not going to stalk you. They do not sell your data. You are not going to find, weird Facebook ads because you're in Replit. It's not what they do. The benefit of Replit is the following. Number one, you get to run, you get to code, you get to debug, compile, everything, all of your homework in a browser window, which means I'm recording this on an iPad. I'm not suggesting you would want to do it, but I'm suggesting if you had to, you could do it on an iPad. That means if you have a Mac, I don't have to suggest alternative software for you. That means if you're on an old, shitty PC, it means I'm not going to kill it for you, which is fantastic. The other fantastic part about Replit is sooner or later, very nearly everybody has a question, and that's perfectly okay, right? It's school. That's the point, is to help you answer your questions. Instead of you having to send me a zipped folder with a ton of other folders in it where I have to go and get the .cpp file and run it on my machine and recompile it and resend you another folder that you have to unzip, you can kind of see where this is going, right? It's a pain in the butt. With Replit, you send me a link and you say, here's my code, I need help. And you tell me what the problem is, and I say, okay, give me a second, I'll take a look, right? I can go in there and add comments to your code. I can add lines to your code and send you back a new link. And all you have to do is open that link, and all of my comments and my code and everything else are in there, and we can get your product up and running without all of that other mish of, zipping files, emailing files, hoping they may... Nah. We don't need to worry about any of that. Replit is great. The other fantastic thing Replit does is, let's just say you're using Chrome and Chrome crashes on you. Shit, right? Not good. The Replit, if you have an account, this is why I suggest you have an account, is it does infinite saving. So for every character that you type, it's in there. That means if Chrome dies, if your tab dies, if for whatever reason you lose internet. So this morning actually here, I know I mentioned it in the intro, I'm in Milwaukee, and we did not have internet this morning. That's why this is coming out a little later. Okay, shoot. My project was in the middle of being done. It's okay, Replit saved it. If you do not choose to sign up for an account, what will happen is your project is lost, because what Replit does for each new project started is a non-guessable, secure URL string. So it'll be like Soylent Squirrel Muffins or something to that effect, right? And that's something you will not be able to recover. But if you have an account, you can, for each new question that you have to answer, you can say, /JQ public /chapter 2 /exercise 5. And that's perfect because now you'll be able to maintain each one of your questions. You can reuse code as we go along. I really am an advocate of reusing code. You'll actually see in chapters 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 where I build opportunities for you to reuse your code. And Replit allows you to do all of those so easily. So that's what you are going to see here in session 2 with chapter 2 with Replit, so that you know what to expect moving forward. There's a ton of audio and video material for you here in the section, so make sure to give yourself enough time to digest your way through all of that and to really start getting your feet wet with C++.